Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cookies Enabled. I am Will, your host. Next to me here is Andrew, our co-host and editor of our show here. And we have some really fun, interesting news for you guys today. And some kind of out-of-the-box stuff, just because it's been a weird week. so, so stick with us, and we have some fun memes. And I know we didn't have the main episode this week, but I know we'll have something coming up soon here. Between me losing my voice over the last 3 weeks, we kind of got behind on our post production. We did figure out a few of our issues. Hopefully they stay put and everything continues to work fine. So far so good. I don't have too much wood around me to knock on, unfortunately. So hopefully we're not cursing ourselves here. But anyway,
I got some. We
right.
got a table right here. We're good.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, I know I posted a small little clip on our channel last week.
Yes.
As a bit of a surprise, I put one out to say happy birthday to Will.
Yes, thank you. I did notice that. It was like I was way behind. My week was very crazy and not too much fun. So yeah, I appreciate that a lot. That was awesome. And
No, I'll tell you what. I was looking at my phone like I waiting. Like I should tell Will, hey, have you checked YouTube? And
right, right. Yeah, because they had been
no,
up for like
I'm gonna
almost a whole
wait.
day before I even noticed it.
I'm gonna wait for a whole day before I tell him. Did
Right.
you see what I posted? I thought it would be fun. I was hoping it would be a surprise for you.
I was like,
Um,
wow, my viewership is up. What's going on? So I went and loaded up my app, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
or,
there's a whole other video on here. So yes, that was awesome.
uh, you're how old?
I am 35 now, unfortunately, and I am
So am I.
feeling it.
I wish we were that close.
But that's too.
I thought it was 34 or 35 somewhere in there. I couldn't quite remember,
No, you're
but
good.
so
Yeah, yeah.
live happy belated birthday. Like I said, we everybody's been through a lot in the
Right.
last few
It's
years.
been
I know you
tricky.
had a bit of rough time, but I thought,
Why not, right?
let-
Hey, I appreciate it, and it was definitely a good surprise. And it seems like the web seems to be enjoying it. It's actually got some decent views already. So hey, that's great. And so I have no problem with that at all. So thank you so much for that, Andrew. That was really awesome. And that you have some random SpaceX news, but not a ton. I mean, unfortunately, they didn't really have a lot going on this week, as
yeah, and I'm actually
again,
on yet.
unfortunately. But let me pull up the.
We're looking at a static fire for
Where is that?
SN20
There it is.
soon-ish.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
that's going to be a little bit. It won't be until next year that we actually get a launch,
Right.
so we're understanding that. But they do have another, routine mission going on. Um, I saw the Twitter. They said launch tonight,
Right.
and I was like, oh, cool. Maybe when we're going, but
No,
no, it's going to be
unfortunately.
1 a.m.
Yeah, this
We're
thing
not
is
gonna be able
supposed to
to.
go at like 1 a.m. our time,
Yeah,
which really isn't fun. Yeah.
one of these days we'll have the best timing for launch
Yep.
while we can actually live stream it, which I would love to be able to
Oh
do.
my gosh, yes.
Once that happens, we'll bring it to
Yeah,
y'all.
absolutely.
Um, so that's really it for
I
SpaceX
know.
this week.
I don't even have
Unfortunately,
any Hubble
we don't have
news,
so much.
which is so sad. No new
Yeah,
pictures or nothing. It was a very quiet space week. I mean, kind of. We have other kind of semi-space news. I did find an article that is semi-space related, and it's more about the shape of our heliosphere, which is the kind of bubble that surrounds our entire galaxy. So what we did find out is that, the crescent shape that you eat as a crescent roll at your Thanksgiving dinner is the same shape almost as the heliosphere. Surprisingly, the heliosphere has tails, a north tail and a south tail, where we used to assume these poles would just shoot straight up into the interstellar space. We thought they were kind of just beams out there, but they actually are trailing off, kind of like a liquid. If you dive into my sources below, you will see they have multiple shots showing how the beam kind of comes off and gets kind of caught into the space interstellar, just winds and just kind of gets blown around. Literally looks like smoke kind of, or heat kind of coming off of like a crescent roll. Now they have another
But just similar. I
3D
feel like
image.
you touched on that several episodes ago.
Yes, we did mention this before.
I did a little. It's yeah, it's front. Um, you know, the as we move through the
Right,
cosmos,
because we're
you
spinning.
kind of get into that Doppler effect, the pressure wave in front and the negative pressure in the back.
Right,
Now we're getting a bit more visualizations of it, and
absolutely.
I mean they've been looking at it more after the first discoveries
Yep.
to see exactly how that kind of
Right. What are the
works. So
thermodynamics, quantum,
we're
dynamics that are going on here? What's really at play? Is there dark matter that we should be aware of? Is there, some other kind of interstellar stream that we don't know of yet or something? But it looks like we're really grounding the science down, and our computer models are not only supporting what we're finding, but matching all of our scans as well. So this is really cool, kind of proof of theory here. Like Andrew's saying, we definitely mentioned this probably 20 episodes ago. I'd have to really dig
a
through.
while ago, yeah.
I was way back when we started. I almost want to say it was like late summer, early fall, maybe that we mentioned that they discovered the crescent-shaped universe.
Mm.
So this is just again further proof that their theories were right, and now it's not more just not just theories on paper and books, but now we have actual science to back it up, which is pretty cool stuff. I love crescents, and I love the fact that we live in one. I don't know why.
Speaking of proof of theory too,
Mm-hmm.
I think hopefully good amount of our viewers are know about Star Trek. They know
Right.
about warp drive.
Yep. Yep.
You may not know of some of the more real world
Right.
applications or some of the studies. Um, there's a thing called the Alcubierre drive,
Oh yeah, I have heard
which
of that, but
NASA's been looking towards.
mm-hmm.
It's named after, I believe he was a Spanish uh, astrophysicist.
Okay, I didn't know that.
He was one of the ones that sort of took what they did in Star Trek
Right, and tried to
and
bring it to life, I
tried
guess.
to see how it actually works. Basically, for a warp drive to actually
Right.
work, what you're doing, in its name, you are warping space time.
Right.
You are compressing the space time in front of you and expanding it behind you. Sort of a way to move faster than light. If you can, light can only travel at a finite speed from one point to another.
Right. Yep.
But if you somehow squish that distance, it takes less time.
You got to think of space time kind of like a rubber band. So what you're doing is you're pulling on that one side of the rubber band, and you're actually kind of stretching it out, and so that's going to
But think of that
warp
in a
time and allow you.
space, or at that point, a four-dimensional
Right.
space, because space and time are one and the
And
same.
that's the image that I have on the screen
Einstein
here.
sort of
It shows the little spacecraft kind of warping down in the front and pushing up in the back, which is going to push the spacecraft forward through space time without having
exactly
to admit anything.
that's the way we can express what it would look like in three-dimensional space, even though it is
Right.
four-dimensional. So it wouldn't actually look like
No.
that. That's just the best way for us to explain it,
Absolutely.
a way
Absolutely.
that anybody can actually understand. Um, warp that's been theorized as possible for a very long time.
Tons of time.
The one issue is that it takes massive amounts of energy to be able to manipulate space-time
Like what we have on
to
the
that level.
globe, kind of amounts of energy.
Yeah, and it does happen. I mean, black holes,
Yeah.
very large stars, anything with enough mass, every honestly, everything warps space and time.
Absolutely.
A
Yes.
planet does, sun does, black holes do,
Anything with mass and
but
energy,
the
pretty much.
energy coming from that is very difficult to just even
Right.
produce.
Absolutely. But
But the there's a experiment from DARPA that was funded by DARPA that they've been
DARPA.
looking.
These
What
secret
was it?
bastards.
DARPA's been around for a while. It's
Yeah, they have been
defense,
doing stuff in the dark, in the shadows for decades, it seems. Uh,
not particularly. They're really pretty transparent.
they really are,
Uh,
but I mean, they don't ever come out with any news until they know that something is either significant or definitive. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this could work, or hey, we have something that could be a solution, and then they show the public. Otherwise, you don't ever hear about it.
stands for Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency.
Exactly.
So basically, most of their funding come from the government giving the money, saying figure out how to
Yeah.
keep our
Like this is what we
nation's
need, or
defenses.
here's a problem we have. Can give us a solution, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
they like to give a lot of money to the space agencies as well.
yeah, they do.
We're talking NASA, the what was it, the European Space Agency, all
Oh,
of
right,
them.
right.
DARPA's given us a good amount. We got a lot of drones. We got a lot of
Robots.
oh yeah, the robots. A
Lots
lot
of
of those.
robots. Very agile robots, I should say.
Somehow accidentally stumbled upon this in one of the research projects,
Right.
and they created a real life warp bubble.
Oh, here it is a picture of it, everybody. Here's your real
We're
live
ta-
war bubble.
yeah, we're
I
talking
mean,
1 to 5 nanometers,
yeah, I
which
have one to scale here. Give me a
you're
second. There it is. This one shows the scale. I mean, it's barely because again, it just shows these little tiny dotted lines and the sphere, and then the cylinder walls on either the front and the back, which would be your north pole, south pole kind of thing. Super
exactly
cool. This is
very, very.
exactly what we've been trying to do.
Uh, we can't use it to fly to other stars yet, but
No.
the coolest thing is it, like you said, proof of theory.
Absolutely.
We can create a warp bubble,
Yep. So this could
and that is
be
huge.
the
Honestly,
beginning
this
to mini force fields, actually. Is what I would say
isn't
maybe even a
rocket.
practical.
We know it's
Right.
possible. So if we can harness enough energy, if we can get fusion reactors, if we can get enough energy, we can make those warp bubbles bigger,
Oh, way bigger. And we can do
make them
way
bigger.
more with them. You could,
Then you can do a ship,
yeah.
and then you can travel faster than light. We've
You can even
proven,
do anti-gravity
uh,
things with warp drives and warp bubbles
yeah,
and stuff, tricking its mass into thinking it's less because you're changing its gravitational force. So that's literally what a warp bubble can do. So it's amazing what the possibilities
we've
are with this
proven
technology. This
it
could
now with,
literally change everything. Hover cars
yeah,
could be coming.
it's going to be faster than light travel. We've proven
Absolutely.
now, without a doubt, in peer-reviewed journals that we can act. Star Trek technology is here.
Yep. And again, check those source
Even
links below
though
because
tiny,
I got all of the
we're
journals.
decades away from it, but we've done it.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah, I
huge.
don't know if we'll ever see it in our lifetime. Maybe right as we're dying, they'll be like, "Here's the first engine." We'll be like, "Ah."
Honestly, I give it 20 to 30 years. I think it'll happen now that we know it's there.
Yeah, now we can really throw money at it and see what happens. And DARPA, that's all they're going to be doing. Every scientist they have is going to be redirected to this project. And I'm sorry for that, everybody, because this is, again, life changing. Every piece of technology that we have could technically use this in some way. I mean, you could even, this is almost creating a whole new, version of really travel. I mean, uh,
Um,
it's
it
crazy.
changes the entire paradigm of what we're looking towards for space travel.
Absolutely.
It's it should be getting, maybe at this point it's not going to get a lot of media coverage just because it's something very small. It's not very applicable
Right.
to
They're not going to
every
talk
day,
about
or
this on NBC
if
or CBS. No. Maybe CNN or Fox. But
if we can get to the point where we have a small satellite, even, I mean, a lot of your smaller navigational satellites or GPS satellites, they're the size of a mini
yeah,
fridge.
it's true.
If we can get a warp bubble the size of a mini fridge and throw, a small satellite in there with a very small ion thruster,
There you
we
go.
could get to the nearest star within a few years with that instead of
Hmm.
several years, 100 to 200. You throw enough money, everything else. You throw enough money at it,
It'll work.
things can
I
happen.
mean, and okay, so here's,
But now,
this could even be used as like asteroid defense or whatever. You got an asteroid coming towards the planet. You create a satellite that can create a warp drive around that satellite to change its density, hence changing its orbit, hence getting it out the heck away without having to blow it up, shrink it, or move it,
sure.
or do anything like that. Drastic. You're not pulling an Armageddon here. uh,
But it also
Star
means
Trek
that
episode.
if we can eventually, if we can solve some of the energy issues and we can
Right.
get some of these fusion reactors to
To
finally
be
come in
completely
line to
stable.
produce
Yeah, not just
more
stable for a
energy
time period.
and take in,
Right.
maybe within 100 years we could see interstellar travel.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's very much a thing. I think in the
It
next 50
has
years, we'll start to see interstellar mining just in the private
very
sector easily. Um, and probably other lunar adventures to the moon and other Mars, maybe a couple of moons out there, because there's a bunch that could be possibly livable that we don't even know about yet. So who knows?
I mean, water under the crust of Europa.
Right,
So
right. There's a lot of
what
possibilities
really
out there, everybody.
the big limit for us from traveling to either stars, planets, is how long it takes.
Right.
So if we can actually make warp drive a
Oh
thing,
my gosh, even Warp 1 would cut that drive from years to minutes. Like
again, we're
literally minutes. you're
at
in you're at Saturn. Here you are. Like, okay, maybe an hour, but it would still be really quick.
Star Trek has kind of shown us what's going to happen in the future. In Star Trek, you saw tablets, you saw
Yeah.
iPads basically
Yeah.
in the 60s.
Right.
You saw hypo
Hype
sprays
spray.
are real.
Yep.
You have um, medical devices that can inject something into the bloodstream
Without a
through the
needle.
skin
Right.
without a needle. You have tricorders,
Yeah,
basically
that
on
is
the plane as
definitely
well.
coming up here because we're just discovering theta waves and neutron waves, and that's going to be huge in the tricorder business.
Very rooted in actual science and
Absolutely.
technology,
Yep.
just kind of taking it to the next level. And we're seeing it again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even though it's in its in its
Infantile.
infancy, we at least know that it exists.
Absolutely.
We know we can make a warp bubble. That's that's the start, but it's ready.
And it's huge. It's a big
So
leap for everybody on the planet. This could again change the world, and it's now that DARPA has discovered it and released this information. You better believe Russia, Japan, Korea, China, all of them are now starting to do this exact same thing. Now, granted, they're probably not going to get as lucky because it's kind of sounded like this was almost accidental that they created it.
Oh, they didn't
Like they
expect
weren't
that to
expecting to
happen.
do this and it just happened. So good luck, everybody, because recreating an accident is really kind of one in like a billion trillion times. You're almost never
Well,
going to do it. Uh,
the experience, though, they cataloged everything, they
I know.
took all the data, and they know what caused it.
Oh, I'm sure
So
they do. Yeah.
they can reproduce it in controlled
Right.
stances and say, okay, now we know exactly how to make this work.
Right. Let's
All we
try
have
to
to do is
sustain it.
ramp up the energy. At this point, they're only, I think the big drawback or what they need is more energy.
Right. More
More
energy
energy.
definitely is a big problem there. That makes sense. Makes sense. You know.
So we can get fusion under control.
Right.
Then you can throw all the energy of the sun.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I say that's all it's going to take, but that's kind of heavy because all it's going to take is the energy of the sun.
Right. Yeah, the max amount of energy that we know. Well, almost, in a matter of speaking anyway.
But
Oh my god,
if we get
wow.
to that point, though, not only will we have enough energy to power the planet
Right.
for
Everything in
free,
between. Infant
we'll also
like
have the energy to power a warp drive,
right.
to power everything. So, I mean, look at what we've seen in our lives, Will, where we've come from.
Oh my, right. Sure.
What? Both 30. We're both 35.
Yeah.
We grew up watching the space shuttle,
Yeah.
watching these small incremental
Oh
changes.
my gosh.
And
Which were
I mean,
huge.
I wouldn't have expected to see what we've seen already.
Yeah, it
My
was. Yeah.
had watched the moon landing live,
Yeah.
and then watched SpaceX launch the first civilians into space.
Mm,
In 50 years, what are we going to see?
right.
This
Exactly. It's gonna be the Moon Hotel, and then I don't know, China floating space station or something. I don't know. So this is gonna be really intriguing to see how interstellar space, or not interstellar. I'm sorry. Well, we will definitely be learning more about interstellar space in the future too, most likely. Just because Voyager 1 and 2 are both still flying around out there. We still have semi communication with both, I think. So we'll see how that goes too. So we. Oh
No,
man,
I think it's very exciting. It's a small bit of news, but I think it's going to explode in the next
giant
few years.
repercussions. Yeah.
Be something. It's what we need.
It is. It's exactly what we need. Now, kind of on a subtopic here, we did mention that DARPA did robots before, and I've shown them on the show before. Dive back a couple weeks ago, I was showing you guys a DARPA robot that could like flip off of tables and jump in different weird angles and just make it look almost fluid. Now here's a company. I'm probably gonna screw up the name. It's like Engineering Arts or Engineered Arts, and they have the most realistic facial expressions of any robot I've ever seen. This is kind of like up the iRobot kind of territory of facial expressions where you almost can't tell if it's CG. It looks so realistic. I mean, almost to now, this one not only has realistic facial expressions, but it can also move its hands and arms in very realistic manner. And kind of express many emotions and stuff. But there's no sounds or anything for this video. Um, it's definitely, obviously, a huge work in progress. They have definitely put a lot of time into this, and tons of other robots in the background as well. There's even an engineer just tinkering around on his computer, like, oh crap, I'm on camera. Like, now, this robot's name is Ameca, and I think she looks almost identical to the iRobot. I mean, there's a little bit of a neck design that's different. She's got like a speaker in her chest or something, so it's a little different. But the facial
I think
expressions.
no,
I'm sorry.
honestly, it fits into that uncanny valley. It is creepy as hell.
It is, and if you think that's
It's
bad.
very hard to get beyond that for human facial expressions.
This one is going to scare you a little bit more than this one is also by Engineered Arts. And this one is literally as close as it's going to get. They reproduced the human skeleton and then actually put motors where your normal muscles are in the face. So there's like a bunch of motors behind this guy's face, essentially, pulling and triggering all these different emotions. But he like yawns and he gets like scared for a second, then he falls asleep and he wakes up, and all kinds of really cool emotions go on here. And this is kind of the creepiest thing I've ever seen, but this reminds me a lot of the Alien movies where you have your android or whatever. I think they had another name for it. It wasn't an android. Um, but it's like a hybrid
Mhm.
human or whatever, where it's all robotic or whatever, but not, or it's like autonomous, I guess, or something. I don't know. This could be kind
Yeah,
of what they're going with this, you know. So I don't know. I'm not sure how this will really play out. I think it's kind of creepy to try to make them superhuman looking. I don't think that's really necessary. Maybe in the hospitality business it is, but it really nowhere else is it necessary. Like,
honestly, they've talked about that all across the board with media. That uncanny valley is hard to get away from.
yeah,
30 Rock made fun of it once. I remember
yeah,
talking about, everybody loves C3PO.
right,
He's cool. R2D2 is cool.
yeah,
Then you get into Tom Hanks from Polar Express,
right,
and all of a sudden, no,
yeah.
you don't like it. It's creepy. Um, I think they need to steer clear. Stop trying to make robots or androids
Too
look
human.
like people.
Yeah, I think that is also a problem as well. It, this also kind of screams Matrix. If anybody has seen what is the Animatrix, where it talks about the beginning, there's a whole there are 2 episodes that explain how really the robots led the revolution in the machines taking over and all that jazz, and how the Matrix started. And I know that's all fictional, but this could be based on some truth here. So, you know,
Excited. We have a new trailer out
we do.
for
We do.
the new Matrix. That's coming out next year. I'm really excited for that.
I am so
That's going
excited.
to be.
Goodness sakes, I seriously cannot wait. I got one more last piece of news here, and this one's kind of way off topic. Oh well, we have some memes. Let's go for the memes because I didn't do those yet.
Nope.
So okay,
Got some good ones.
yeah, you had this awesome one. I love this one because this is a true Michigan meme. I have it way too big on the screen. There we go. Okay, so it says no matter how cold it gets, there's always this one person, and this is so true, especially in Michigan. Oh my gosh, everywhere you go, you'll see somebody in flip flops, and it's like a foot of snow outside, or like
I'll tell you what. I had years and years ago when I worked at Papa John's, I delivery driver. He wore mesh gym shorts every single shift. He had a hoodie on, he had a coat, but shorts.
wow.
I don't think that man owned a pair of pants.
You know what? Maybe they don't.
Even 2017, 2018, when we had that very bad
Oh
cold
yeah,
snap, we got down to like
we were
negative.
running out of gas and stuff.
My old, well, my old
Mm.
hairdresser. Speaking of
Love
which,
it.
I'm
Love the red
my hair
hair.
red.
Yep.
I love it. Here in Ann Arbor, her husband, he was out there snow blowing his driveway in negative 40-degree wind chill, negative Fahrenheit.
Of
For
course he
any of
was.
you
Yep.
outside
Yep.
the U.S. So dangerously cold. Somehow out there, big puffy parka,
Shorts. Yep.
shorts. And I, to this day, don't understand. Cold, it's, and he goes out with 2 layers of socks,
Yeah, that's
2
me.
layers of
I
pants.
can't do it. This cold is so bad. I
I'm
got
out
like
there.
6 shirts and a hoodie and a coat and my hunter's hat or my trapper's hat on and a scarf and gloves. I look like the kid from
But
Christmas Story. Like I can't even put my
yeah, I don't know. I spent enough time in a
right.
college town. So many people wear shorts in the winter, and it boggles the
I
mind with
definitely
me.
don't
I don't know
recommend it
how
unless you're
people
looking
do
to
it.
get frostbite or really bad eczema.
Not good.
Oh man.
Now, like you had a few
Yes, I
really good
found
ones.
some old ones but good ones, and this one is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this one. This is Sharon opening the oven to
Um,
check on the pie that she put in the day before. Yes, yes, Sharon. I just love this because this is also me. I have long hair and I work in a kitchen every day. So, I have to put my hair up and under like 8,000 layers, which is fine. But even still, you open those ovens, especially industrial ovens, and it's just like, whoosh. Like, you just can't. That's what I feel like.
well, for context, you look at the original post. Someone was yelling at, was it Marie
Yes.
Callender?
Yep.
What that? Blaming them for their pie that they burned. And this pie, like everybody, this was a pumpkin
Yeah.
pie. And when she took that out of the oven,
It
it
was
was
total
charcoal.
charcoal. Like there was
But she's blaming the company for that. It's like,
the what? I'm sorry.
ma'am, you left the pie in the oven for far too long. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Ain't their fault. And the internet and Twitter especially has been having a field day with that for
Yep.
the past month. And
Yes,
I think
that's my
that's your
other
other
one
one
actually,
with
which is Sharon, how long have you had that pie in the oven? And then in the Titanic fashion, it's been 84 years. Like I love this. I mean, this is a classic mistake, of it's kind of the when you put it's like doing cheesecake or rice. Once you start it, you cannot touch it until that timer goes off. So if you set the timer wrong, you are in danger because, a lot
Not
can
just
go
that,
wrong.
you burn a pie like that.
You either screw the temperature up or you
Right?
screw up the time. And I think she did it for 84 years and it came out as pure carbon pumpkin pie. Like,
Honestly, I think she had one too many
yes,
glasses of
yes.
Chardonnay that night and just forgot about the pie.
It's not. It's not about the
That's
pie.
all.
Damn it, Sharon.
No,
Oh, man.
I've known people in my life that have forgotten about the
Mm,
food on the oven. You come back and it's just
yeah.
a brick of
Charcoal brick. Yep, yeah, you're ready to grill. You
chocolate.
know, might as well go outside and light her up. Get the fluid. Oh man, I'm sorry I had to, but no, I've totally been there. Anybody that's ever baked in their life has made that mistake, and yes, it's very humiliating. But no need to go after the manufacturer. It's not their fault. That's more operator error than anything else. So sorry, Sharon. Anyway, guys, I got one last topic for you. And I'm a little nostalgic when it comes to the holiday season, and I love a good Pac-Man game. And Facebook has decided, or Meta, whatever you want to call them now, have decided to jump. I'm
Um,
sorry,
but that's all. Let's just
Facebook.
call it Facebook. That meta thing.
So they're
Well,
jumping onto the Pac-Man bandwagon, everybody. Now you can play Pac-Man Community right on your browser or on your phone.
really?
Now, it's actually pretty fun. You can play up to 4 players per game. And I did test it out the other night on my laptop, and it was actually super addicting. I played like 10 games. I think I got like 139th out of like the world scale or leaderboard or whatever it was.
You said
I'm sorry, say again?
you said
Yes. Yes,
multiplayer?
this is multiplayer Pac-Man.
Oh, we're doing that.
So you work
That's good.
together to complete the puzzle. So let's say, I get bumped out, but the other 3 players are still going and they eat all of the dots. So we complete that level and it goes to the next one. Now I revive and I come back and I get to play again. So as long as somebody makes it to the next level, you will keep progressing and everybody gets to come back. So it's only 4 players per game, but you can team up with your friends. Yes, other people can even watch you play the game, which is so fun. And just like the old ones, you have your cherry level and then strawberry and then peach and so you got to get your fruits, and the more you collect it, it's just like all the regular ones. You grab the dots, you grab your the big blinking ones, which you can go after. The ghosts, it counts how many dots you eat, how many ghosts you go after, how many fruit you eat. I mean, this thing is pretty awesome. You can even design your own levels in the game and then share them with everybody on Facebook to play. So this is pretty cool, I gotta say. Some of the levels I played that were made by other players were terrible, but it lets you vote on the levels once everybody dies and you get to the very end. It gives you a list of all the man-made levels, and then you get to vote like a like or dislike on the levels. And I'm assuming once it gets enough dislikes, they just take it off the board. Like there was one that was so bad that the ghosts could trap you in every corner of the map. I don't know why they even allowed that level. It was terrible. I was watching my teammates just getting eaten alive. It was terrible. Um, but it is also really, really fun. It's a great idea. They did this with Tetris a few years ago on the Xbox and PlayStation, and I think PC and a few other random systems, where you can kind of play with other people. And that's always been a thing with Tetris. But Pac-Man has never been a multiplayer adventure that I can remember. Um, and this is super fun. You don't have to fight your other players. You are always working together, and you can just go right through each other, eating dots in the same lines and stuff. If they eat a booster, then you can go after the ghosts too. Again, you're all after the same goal. So it's a community play. Really great job, Facebook. It took 2 seconds to load on my laptop, which again is nothing new. It's a pretty old machine, but definitely give that a try. I will post the links in the source links below for you guys. If you love Pac-Man as much as I do, they even have the original Pac-Man game in there, hidden away in the menu. If you look closely enough, you can find it. and play the original Pac-Man on your computer too. So if you don't like the new one, you can go play the original as well. Well done, Facebook. I thought they did a really good job representing the original aspect of the game and trying to play something new in there, you know, and make it more fun for everybody. Like the fact that I don't have to just stick around and wait for everybody to die. I get to come back to the next level was really fun. And a clever way to keep me intrigued and keep me playing, and it worked. So definitely check that out.
It's interesting. Well, that kind of reminds me of that little dinosaur
Yes.
game Google has when the
Yes.
internet breaks.
Oh my
You can
gosh,
play,
yes.
but we're gonna have to play some Pac-Man together.
It
Then
is
that
really
sounds really
cool.
cool.
Definitely strongly recommended if you guys have some spare time and you're just waiting around or whatever. Again, if you can't get into the group of four, of the original players, it does give you the option to watch. So if one of your players gets bumped out or has to go to work or whatever, then you can jump in from the watch position, which is kind of nice too. So they have a nice handoff position. It's kind of like being at an arcade. If you guys ever remember, you're going to play DDR. It's your turn next to put the coin on the machine to indicate that it's your coin. You go next, kind of thing. That was an old trick. A lot of people did that with
My
all the games.
DVR.
Most of them. And if they were nice, they respected that.
You remember those days when you would just push yourself to the
Yes.
point of exhaustion
Yes. Oh
on
my
DVR?
gosh, yes.
Just round after
Oh,
round
and then
after
you fail the
round.
song
You
and you have to
are
do it
fighting
again.
so your head. Oh, those were
I
fun days. I
seriously
miss
miss that
DDR.
too.
That was a lot
If
of
you're in Kalamazoo, which unfortunately neither of us are, but if you're in Kalamazoo, Michigan, of all places, there is the LFG Gaming Bar that does a DDR retro gaming night every Thursday. So you can go play with your friends
where
there. I'm sorry. So
where
it's
is
next
that?
to where was it the Rave or whatever theater used to be? Now it's AMC Theaters, I think. Uh,
Yeah,
it's like right next to it.
used to go to on out that one to
Yes.
Sprinkler or
Yeah, it
something. I don't
connects you
remember.
to
It's been a
Sprinkle. I
long
know
time.
you're talking about. Yeah, it's one of the little back roads. I honestly, it's been a minute since I've been down there. I can see it in my mind. I know you know where I'm talking about. There's also the WMU medical like laboratory section is over there as well. I think there's a Pfizer campus or
Right atop.
Zoetis campus over there as well. So there's a lot of buildings literally right there, and there's a huge parking garage that it's attached to. Actually, it's like one of those storefronts. So really cool. If you love retro games and you're in the Kalamazoo area, give LFG Gaming and Bar a try. It's really fun, really cool place. And I've only been there once, and it was really fun a long time ago. Well, I say a long time ago, but it's only been open for a few years. But it was fun. I have not gone for the DDR gaming night because again, I'm in about an hour away. But I would love to, and a bunch of my old DDR friends wanted to meet up and do that. So we might. I'm hoping. Hit me up, guys. Let me know if that's happening, or maybe they already did it. I don't know. But anyway, that's all we had for you guys today. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you are interested in anything we talked about, hit us up in the comments below. Check out our source links in the descriptions that will post after the show here. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, you just want to hit us up, tell us we're terrible people, whatever, hit us up in the email address above. I have yet to have anybody use it, but it is available for you just in case you want to drop us a line. We do need topics for new episodes and things, so let us know what you guys are interested in, or if you want us to dive into an internet myth or some random crazy thing you heard and you're not sure, we will check it out. We're also on Facebook, Facebook groups, Instagram, Twitter, like all of them. So check us out, find us, share us, like us, and we appreciate you all, viewers, for tuning in. And have a great night, everybody. I know I learned something new, and I hope you guys did too. We'll see you guys next time.